Imagine this movie, Superman Red Sun, in live action. That's the kind of shit you will be getting if I was running WB and DC, but we know by now, us DC fans can't have good things. Imagine a live action Superman Red Sun movie written and directed by Peter Jackson. That's the kind of shit I would give you, but we're not allowed good things. So welcome back to Movies TV Mad and Sunday's edition of the DCU Daily. The DCU slate was and is a lie. Oh, you're screaming and you're shouting and you're a liar and you're just trying to get likes and views. I'm not monetized. It doesn't matter who likes the video and who doesn't watch it and who watches it and what horrible, toxic comments I get on the video, right? Or whatever, however people respond to me. I know the truth. And I understand the truth hurts some people. But I'm not Brandon Davis. I am not Soups Matt Ramos. I'm not going to block you because you're nasty to me because you can't handle the truth that I'm speaking. The DCU slate was a lie just to fabricate false hype. That's all it ever was. If I'm so far from the truth, where is Swamp Thing? On the back burner, or let's say it how it is, never gonna fucking happen. Where is James Gunn's Authority movie? On the back burner, couldn't find it. The director's too busy. It was never gonna happen. A fucking lie. And it's not the first time these people have fucking lied to us. Henry Cavill is back as Superman. Another fucking lie. How long are you going to allow these used car salespeople to take advantage of you? How long are you going to allow people like Matt Ramos and Brandon Davis to lie to you? We don't know you. We've never heard of you, Mick. You're the liar. Brandon and Matt have always been honest with us. Really? Really? Matt Ramos told you The Flash was the most fantastic, wonderful movie after he had milkshakes and popcorn and ice creams on WB. Has to stop. But, you know, listening to Rotten Tomatoes, the thumbs up and thumbs down culture has to fucking end. Where is Waller? On the back burner, but Mr. Gunn claims it's still in development. Where is Brave and the Bold? Never gonna fucking happen, like I told you several months ago in an exclusive video. But according to James Gunn, he's working with a secret writer. I'm calling bullshit on that. And by the way, I'm not the only one calling bullshit on that. The Hollywood Reporter, I think, on their Heat Vision article, claim that that film isn't even in development, but this guy, with barely any views, barely any subscribers, called something out that the Hollywood Reporter, one of the most important, most oldest trades in Hollywood, is saying now. You called me a liar when I said I had seen Superman, because you didn't like the truths I was spitting at you. Now a bunch of critics and people have come out and kind of clarified what I've had to say on the movie. We heard what John Campea and his friends think of this film. I believe Campea is going to roast this fucking film when it comes out. That's why he set out the stall by saying, you know, people are mixed on it. He was trying to make the field easier for him to roast the movie. So the DCU slate was a lie and is a lie. Let's see what's actually happening within the DCU. Supergirl, a cheap, budgeted movie on a graphic novel. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Conveniently, the Woman of Tomorrow has now been dropped. But let's go back to Superman. Do you remember when he showed you a picture of the graphic novel Kingdom Come? And he said, making plans. He made you think that the whole arc of the DCU was going to be Kingdom Come. Then he started teasing you with All-Star Superman, right? Well, no, actually, it's not. It's not an adaptation. This is what he said. Again, he said, it's just taking aspects from those graphic novels. And then people claim, well, no, Mick, Superman is reverse Kingdom Come. I've never heard such fucking cope in my fucking life. And, you know, I can call bullshit on that because I've seen the fucking movie. I will not tolerate people lying to us, the fans. It's all right for me. I was brought up in the industry. I can see through their bullshit, but most of you can't. A lot of you today actually believe in New Hollywood's bullshit. And that's very problematic because no one should succeed on creative bankruptcy. James Gunn had one job to do, to make a simple, colourful, bright, inspirational, paint-by-numbers Superman movie. This is what you real DC fans all wanted after you didn't like Man of Steel. I believe the words Man of Steel will be used in comparison in a lot of the reviews for Superman. Suddenly, all these critics who hated Man of Steel are seeing the light. I am actually in a group chat with fellow people, critics and influencers and YouTubers who have seen Superman. So there's people who actually like the movie, don't love it but like it, underwhelmed, and totally fucking despise it. But there's no one who thinks this is the perfect fucking movie. And basically what James Gunn had to deliver with this movie is the best god-tier Superman movie ever. And everyone can agree that's not what this film is. One of the biggest things that hurts this Superman movie is its reduction in runtime. This film has been tampered with hugely by the studio. And because Gunn wants his power and success and bigger fame, he will bend the knee to the corporate entity. He doesn't give a fucking shit about the stuff he's making. He was never interested in making a Superman film. He never wanted to make a Superman film. He was forced into it. And what they did was lie about this slate. The whole thing, most of it, is a lie. All we're getting thus far is Supergirl, Lanterns, and Clayface. And if I'm so far from the truth, where is Sergeant Rock? They apparently got this critically acclaimed director, Luca, can't say his surname, but Luca, really talented, critically acclaimed. Colin Farrell was going to be in this movie. Again, I call bullshit on that. That movie also was never going to happen. But according to James Gunn, it's still on development. Still in development. Again, I call bullshit on that. Most of this slate, most of it, nearly all of this slate, is never ever going to happen, boys and girls. Because the whole thing was a lie. Why would a group of people lie about a slate? Because they know what I know. You can't announce a fucking slate before you know your first movie is a success or a fail. They shouldn't have made Supergirl. They should not be making Lanterns. Lanterns shouldn't even fucking exist, by the way. We should be getting an epic, outstanding Green Lantern cinematic entry, written and directed by someone fucking amazing. We're not getting that. We're getting something from Tom King and Damon Lindelof, who are hard fucking left. Why does that matter? Because we are in the era of extremism and political propaganda within our entertainment. And this is what you're going to see in this series. No pictures I've seen for that show have inspired me, but I can't watch that anyway. because it's geo-locked on HBO Max. But you're not getting anything else. Oh, Wonder Woman Paradise Lost is taking a little bit longer, according to James Gunn, than planned. Something else on the back burner. Why did he announce The Authority? I believe he probably wanted to make The Authority, and the studio, and even HBO, who have got a big say in what happens here, said no, because they didn't believe it could be successful cinematically. And they're right. I don't think The Authority would have made a lot of money. But that was his plan. That's why he has the engineer in this effing movie. And now that plan is gone. I believe the whole Gods and Monsters thing is utter bullshit. So nearly everything that the man's announced, wasn't it interesting? He announced James Mangold in writing and directing a Swamp Thing movie. Now, it's not happening. Oh, sorry, it's on the back burner. Oh, me and James discuss it all the time, James Gunn says. Him and James Mangold discuss it all the time. I've never seen such a serial liar in my life. James Gunn lies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and 11s. And there lies the problem. He cannot be trusted. He is the unreliable narrator. There is no plan here. But without Superman being successful, there can be nothing else. But there is. There is. What's going to happen if Superman doesn't make enough money? We don't know. You know, bad movies have made big money before. A bunch of MCU movies made a lot of money in Phase 2 and Phase 3. So it's more than feasible that Superman, to me, not a great entry in Superman live-action adaptations, can still make money. It would be hugely amusing. I would laugh my fucking butt off. Because it would be funny at this stage. But I don't see it. I think it will barely make 100 million with the opening domestic weekend. But that's something we're going to have to wait and see about. But make no mistake that this slate was bullshit from day one. Where's Booster Gold? Where's Booster Gold? Now, he's been talking about a project he wants to announce that he's personally really excited about. Could that be Booster Gold? Again, I forgot the actor's name. He's another MCU actor who apparently he's cast as Booster Gold. Absolutely has no Booster Gold vibes. Another mess. Another mess if it actually happens. But when you're telling people, when you're telling the press that you can't even find a script for Waller, something really deadly is going on behind the scenes. And if Superman is successful, they can paint over the cracks of the lie of a slate. Because make no mistake, most of that slate is a lie. Because I've just told you all the projects that are on the back burner. So there's a reason, right? There's a reason they're on the back burner, because they were a lie. But let me confirm to you, right, how blatantly obvious it is that this slate had no place in reality. About a month or two ago, Gunn and DC Studios and Saffron called an emergency press briefing. And they started telling journalists and influencers or whoever that a lot of their projects were on the back burner. It was a weird event. Most journalists said it was a waste of their fucking time. And the core reason was to start to dial back on a lot of the things, the slate, the movies and streaming shows that they announced, because they were never going to happen. So they had to find a way to try and say, well, this is not happening. And what Gunn tries to do is this. If we don't have a script, we're not making a movie, because that's the reason why most things in entertainment are bad today, because people make stuff without scripts. It makes him sound professional. It makes him sound better than everybody else. But the truth is, that's the biggest fucking bullshit. He would be more than happy to make movies and TV shows without scripts. The reason he's saying that is to sidetrack the point that this slate was the biggest of lies.